Hello everyone, let's get started. So in previous video we talked about security groups. What are the security groups, why we need them, how we create a new security group, add inbound, outbound rules. So if you haven't watched that video yet, that's the right time to do. So the link to that video should appear on the top right corner right now. And today we'll continue talking about security in our VPC environment. And as it was promised, today we'll discuss NACL, Network Access Control Lists. So what are NACLs? How they are different from security groups, how we create inbound, outbound rules, and so on. Okay, so let's get started. So NACLs we can find under VPC service. So on the left, there is a security section, and by the way, from here we can also access security groups, but let's talk about NACLs. So Network Access Control Lists, right? Let's create a new one. On the top right corner, you can see Create Network ACL. So that's an optional. You can give it a name, so it will be easier for you to identify it. So AWS itself will identify NACL by ID. Okay, my test NACL. Okay, and that's a VPC resource. Okay, tags if you wish, and create. Okay, here we can see our network access list. So the first thing we should pay attention to is that NACL is associated with the subnets. So security group was associated with a network interface. NACL is associated with the subnet. So NACL is an additional layer of security besides security group, right? So if we look at our infrastructure from outside, so NACL is the first level of security, and then we have a security group. Okay, so subnet associations we have just created, and we don't have any subnets associated with our NACL, meaning that it's not in place. Edit, and here we can select which subnet our NACL will be associated with, right? Okay, and now let's see what we have. Inbound, outbound rules. As you remember, security group when we create it, we have some default rules: inbound, outbound. So here we also have both in inbound and outbound, and you can see that by default, all inbound and outbound traffic is denied. That's all the first thing how NACL is different from security group. So here in NACLs we have both allow and deny rules. In security group we had only allow rules and implicit deny in the end. Here we can configure both allow and deny rules. Okay, let's go edit. Okay, add a new rule. And here, very important, another difference, that in NACL we can configure a rule number. So all rules in NACLs are evaluated from the least number to the highest number, right? And similarly as for security group, once we have a match, we apply this rule and don't continue, right? And in the end, you see we have deny. So if traffic doesn't match any allow or deny rule, it will be denied. So quite similar to security group, but here we have explicitly stated this deny rule. In security group, it's implicit. We don't see this rule. Okay, security rule number, let's say it's 10. So, and then similarly as we have in security group, type, protocol, port range, that's fine, since we have selected SSH, 22, source. Yeah, so here, if you remember in security group, we had a drop down where we could select something. Yeah, here we should explicitly manually set the source IP or IP range and also allow or deny. Yeah? Let's say allow. Save change. Okay, so now in inbound we have SSH traffic being allowed. And also, if you remember, security group are stateful. Yeah, so if one-way traffic was allowed by a rule, return traffic will be allowed by default. Yeah, so if, for example, in security group we state that SSH is allowed as inbound rule, we don't need to explicitly state the allow rule in outbound rules for security groups. Return traffic, SSH traffic will be allowed. Yeah? But NACLs are different in this way. So NACLs are stateless. Yeah, if we want to allow return traffic, we should do this explicitly. Yeah, so if we want our SSH to work, we should create allow rule not only in inbound rules, but in outbound as well. Add new. Also, let's take 10. Let's give it SSH allow. Okay. Yeah. And so, to sum up, NACLs are stateless, so you should explicitly allow both one-way traffic and return traffic. NACLs are applied on subnet level. NACLs have both allow and deny rules. And NACLs also have rule number. And all rules are evaluated from the least number to the highest number, right? Okay, that also concludes our today's video. Still, if you have some questions, remarks, doubts, comments, please write them under the video. I will answer to you. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so, so you will not miss any upcoming videos. But for today, that's all. Thanks to all for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.